Good morning. It's not as calm as that right now. It's about 25 knots of northeasterly breeze. So I'm just inside in my office, which is right inside here. And we're moving on to part B, how to do profitable punting. One of the things I focus on, as you probably already know, is the C plan. Just so I can illustrate, I'll just open up the GTX program. We're looking at race 1 at Newcastle today. Don't take it that if we lose this race, it's a bad strategy. That's not the way it works at all. But we're going to get the winner about 50% of the time. So what I'm looking here, I've got the fixed price odds from the TAB and also the other estimated dividends. So what we're looking at in this first race, we can see number 1 here, Donna Chiara. It is the favourite and the fixed price is $2.90. So just to go in our heads and say, okay, how much to take out $100, okay? That's very simple. 100 divided by 2.9, close enough to 3, is going to be $33. If you're only having like a smaller bet, well, you can just reduce that down. So 10% is $3.30. Well, just round it off to whatever you get, so that'd probably have to be $4 and so on. If we look at the second horse, it's Into the Oblivion. You can see that our rated price is about the same for both. But if you have a look at it, you can see that it's around $11. So it's not going to take a whole lot of money to get our profit for that. So, you know, the $100 divided by 11 comes to $9. So remember, we were going to put 33 on this one, and we were going to put $9 on that one. So about $42 outlay. And the thing is, we will get a dividend now if we were to bet this at Best Total or SP, which is available at most places, or Best of the Best, whatever. You can see there possibly we could end up with about $3.20, but just depending on what the price does now, 14 minutes before the race, we could get more, we could get less, or we could take that fixed price. So if we take the fixed price, we've got our $33 on there, we're guaranteed to get close enough to 100 back. You'll see that this one has come in a point to $10, indicates there's a little bit of money for it. So now we need to put $10 on that one. And as that's firming in, it's probably a good idea to take the $10 fixed. Anyway, we get one of those two horses wins the race and we've more than doubled our money. If we put the money on, if we want to make, want to put on 100, pick up 100 on the first bet of the day, and that wins, we're doubling our money. We can walk away and say, well, happy with that. We've made a profit for the day. If not, we could move on. So it's a very simple principle. We look and see how long the race is, 1,300 metres or more. Check to see the track condition. It's a good 4. We don't take the C-plan races on a heavy track. And then the next thing we've got to look at, of course, is what the prices are. Is it favourite? There's very little chance that in the next few minutes that's going to be reduced to not the favourite. There's been like a 10-cent improvement in that particular horse has come in like 10 cents. That's no big deal. This one is still firm in the market. So often what I do, I wait until that's about 5 minutes to go, just to make sure that they're still going to be sitting at favourite. I know things can happen in the last minute. Works out good for us sometimes, works out bad for the others. Okay, just moving right along. If we look to the next race, Hamilton, 2,200 metres. Similar situation. What we've got here is Bellini Boy at $8. We've got Trade Fair Express at $2.70. We go down to here. The favourite is actually this one, If You Leave. It's a $2.25, so there's a substantial difference there. But then again, nearly half an hour before the jump. So what you'd be doing, and it's a slow 5, that's okay, we can take that. 2,200 metre, the distance is right. What we'd be doing is having a look at what happens to this horse if you leave. Is that going to firm or not? And we have a look at this particular horse. Is that going to firm or not? So the chances are that the favouritism could switch around from one of these horses to the other. If that does, have a look when there's 5 minutes to go, not 27 minutes to go, and see what the relative prices are there, because it could be a major change. So this one is a race that we possibly could bet in. Okay. If we move along, then we've got Armadale there, which is an 1,100 metre race. We don't bet in those. One of the reasons is the prices tend to be a bit shorter in the short races. whereas what we're aiming for is to get an average return on outlay of about $2.10 to $2.30, and that seems to be the average over the years of what you get. Looking here at the next race, another example, Clear Blonde, currently $5.50, Oakfield Territory $3.80, and Seduction Queen here is odds on at $1.95. Doesn't look like much opportunity there, because obviously I wouldn't expect either of our top two selections to end up being favourite. Okay, so I'm just going to move on a little bit, and I'm going to go to our home site here now, horseracingaustralia.info. You've all seen that. Here's a little bit of news today. John Fergal today. I'll just click this out. No, I've got all the information there. So what John has found today, the best bet that he could find today was Armadale Race 7, number 1, Myassa. Now, the problem was in the market, it's only paying $1.28. I did notice that it's moved out to $1.30 now. But the thing is, it's probably going to win. But it only takes one full stride, a bump from another runner, a bad start, so many different ways to lose. And that's the question. Would you really risk your money for that sort of reward? And at that price, we've made the decision, and John's recommended to his clients not to back that horse unless they can get at least around $1.60. At that price, I think it won by 3.5 lengths last start. It's probably going to win the race, but why take a risk for such a small return? Anyway, so that diary, by the way, anybody watching, that's available every single day of the week. Any race that I like, I put up there. Sometimes it might be 2 or 3 days before I put a race there. All you got to do is come back and have a look about lunchtime, see if there's one there. Okay. Now we're looking down here. That was a video channel section for how to win at punting, being a successful punter, part A. This is part B. And you'll find down here we've got a banner here for Staking Kings in there, or Money Factory, or Power Play. They're the main staking programs we have there. But look, starting as a basis, let's have a look at Staking Kings. And you can see down here, if you log into the Staking Kings site, there are things you can do which will give you a lot more information. So one of the things you can get is the Dutch Bet program. It's a world-leading Dutch Bet program that's on the cloud. And what it means is you can place your bets, your keystrokes go straight back to the cloud. You can use your smartphone, you can use an iPad, whatever, computer at home or laptop, or wherever you are, you're going to be able to do it and see what's going to happen. Okay. So the idea of having the Dutch Bet, which is what you get when you pay your $9.95. That's right, it's only $9.95 to join. What you get when you do join and you pay the $9.95, you do get the Dutch Betting app. Okay, so all that does, it makes it easier. So when you enter your price, like we did in the first race, it was $2.90 was the price. It'll tell us exactly what the percentage is we're betting. And then when we enter the other one, which currently was about $10, we enter that, it tells the exact amount. So straight away you know what you're betting. A lot of people want to make sure they at least double their money. So when you look at the Dutch Bet app and it comes up and it shows you that it's reached 50%, then you know you don't want to add any other bets in. Okay, so I'll just tell you how you can open this account. By the way, if you're looking in there, you can start the video up and it'll start showing you things. So there are other ones here, YouTube tutorials, how to get help with Staking Kings, and the 3 programs that are in there. Just clicking that on, it goes for 12 minutes. It tells you the information about this. So I'll just pause that. But the thing is, you don't actually have to. You don't have to have. It's going to keep going. Look at that. Okie doke. Pause. Come on. Stop. There, I've stopped it. Okay. Just as well, I haven't got any naughty videos I've been watching, isn't it? Hey, there. So, as you know, I'm playing the drums now, so I tend to look at a few drum videos and music videos anyway. So it's very simple. All you've got to do is go to the Staking King site. You can access it from the regular website, register an account, then you'll receive an email which will give you a code to validate the account. And once you've validated account, or if you have difficulty validating account, you can always email us and we'll do it for you. Log into the website, and then subscribe to the programs you wish to use. As I said, it's $9.95 for the Dutch Bet app, and that lasts you a whole 12 months, okay? The other thing is, once you've registered and you paid the $9.95, you can apply and get a free 4-week trial of the Windform Power Play program or the Windform Money Factory program. Now, we tend to use the Money Factory program for the C plan. It allows us to do whatever betting we want to do. We can put in just a single bet and it'll accept that. If we want to put in a race where we're going to take 2 bets, it'll Dutch those for us, and it'll do that, and it'll calculate how much money or what the dividend of our outlay and return is going to be. And we can follow that through until we make a profit. They're things that you go ahead and look for yourself. So part B, and the most important thing, I think, the most important aspect, or the second most important aspect, other than getting decent selections, is the staking. Very important to stake correctly, and this is just one way you can do it. And the thing is, I have so many of our professional clients. They get this program. The GTX program is $895 with 3 months of Windform ratings in it, and also it's got our systems in it. So if I wanted to get some systems, I would just click that button there, and I would sit down here, and I've got my group of systems here. I click that button, and it comes up with all our selections that we would normally back for the day. So it's all available there. You can print that out, whatever. It's very easy, and after your first 3 months, you get to continue your subscription for only $195 a month. But anyway, as I say, I have so many of our semi-professional and professional clients. What they do, they would start back here at Newcastle Race 1. They would probably bet in that race. You can see now that that's moved out to $3. It's updating all the time, and that's just appears in your program, no problem. This particular horse now, it had come in from $4 to $3.90. It's eased out a little bit, and probably this one might have been a little bit firmer. But this is still the clear favourite with 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go. So there's every chance, as I said, we could be on a winner. If you have a look at the form of this horse, this is the other beauty about the GTX. You can click on the Donna Chiera and you can see where the form came from. This was in Gosford. It was on a good track, 2,100 metres, won by 6 lengths. Since then, it's had a spell, come back. It's run a second, a fourth, fifth at the turn to come first over 1,800. Then was well beaten at Hawkesbury over 2,000 metres, 7.8 lengths. Now, it's trained by Cummings, and young Mr. Bellers are riding it, and so it's probably got every chance of doing something in this. If we look at the second rated horse, we can find this has had 4 wins over 32, a much more experienced horse, trained on the track by Paul Perry. It's had 4 runs recently. The best it's done is 7th, beaten 3.4 lengths over 1,600 at Weil. I do know which horse I would prefer to be on. So it'll be interesting to see what's happening. Now, there you see it's 3 minutes to go. This one's eased out to 3:20, and for some reason they're backing Urella Boy. I'm interested to see what's happening here. We can see that its best rating there was a 34.8, long time ago. Hasn't had a run for about 24 days, was on a 2,400 on a heavy track, and was well beaten 5.5 lengths. Sometimes those runs on heavy tracks can really hurt a horse. So interesting to see how it go. At the end of the day, if we lose, we lose. But the reality is we follow what it is, and still a couple of minutes ago, it's still favourite. Okay, that's all there is today. Don't forget you can go to our website. Just going back there, there's the Staking King site. We can go back to our website. If you want to order anything, you can just click here to shop. You can go down here. There's the Windform Ratings GTX program package, $895. We can have you up and running that in that within 3 or 4 days of you having subscribed to it. And honestly, as I say, people sort of bet on the races. They actually set themselves up. A lot of people set it. They want to make a set amount per day. Myself personally, I would put $500 on that race. If I did end up with a winner, that gives me a $500 profit. That's more than enough for me, and I would quit for the day. But If I had a very small bank and I was only betting, say, a couple of $1,000, I might only bet, $50 on that race, see how I go, make a few dollars, build up my bank. Okay, that's all there is. Thanks for listening.